Chosen one, this is not an ordinary moment. Today is not just another date on your calendar. It is a divine timestamp, a spiritual deadline, a line drawn between delay and destiny. Stop scrolling. Only 10 seconds left is not just urgency. It's heaven's alarm going off right over your life. Right now, Archangel Michael is in a place that can't be seen. Not in the dark or far away, but in charge. And he holds something that has never been released in this way before. A check for $1 trillion. Pay close attention. It already has your name on it. Yesterday, you didn't sign it. Last week, you didn't sign it. It was signed by your obedience. Your tears signed it. Your prayers in silence at 2 a.m. I signed it. Your name was on that holy document before you even knew it because you fought through battles without giving up. There are now only seconds left in the spirit. It's not just about money. This is about providing for you, healing you, opening doors for you, and supernaturally getting rid of what has been stopping you. God is giving you this check as payment for the war you fought. It means too much water after a drought in the wake of years of slow progress. It means speeding up. But here is the shocking truth. It goes back to the heavenly treasury at 9 p.m. If it is not claimed in faith and alignment before then. Yes, there are treasuries in heaven. Not because God withholds, but because many people never get. It's because waiting too long shuts the door. Delay slows down activation. Fear stops you from moving. Tonight, Archangel Michael is not going after your enemies. He is watching over your freedom. Do you feel that change? Something strange has been tense in your spirit lately. Better a sense of urgency that you can't talk about. That's not worry. It is divine timing pushing against delays on earth. You were told ahead of time that something is going to move because you were chosen to respond. Take a good look at your life. Have you seen any strange signs lately? Numbers that keep coming up, random confirmations and talks about money, breakthroughs, inheritances and chances. These are not just random events. These are signs from the spirit world. Today has a prophetic feel to it. Witness is represented by the number 2. The number 1 means beginning. With 221, they become witnesses to the start. Today is the day you see the start of overflow. The enemy knows this too, though. That's why there were more distractions this week. That's why tiredness tried to lay claim to you. This is why self-doubt said nothing is changing. It was an attempt to get you to skip over your moment. You're still here, though. It has meaning. Archangel Michael doesn't just move around. His job is to protect destiny, carry out divine orders, and stand as a warrior over covenant promises. It means it was okay with God if He is holding something with your name on it. The check is a sign of giving and receiving, giving money, giving favors, giving power, giving chances. But heaven works based on response. You need to take back what is rightfully yours. Claiming doesn't mean begging. It means that you agree. It means that your words should match what is already written in the Spirit. It means not letting past mistakes keep you from being eligible. Pay close attention. Your name was marked with a delay. Not refusal, but delay. And that time limit has passed. The clock is now on your side instead of against you. The time that drained you is about to give you something good. But here's the need again. After 9 p.m., the cycle ends. It's not about being scared. This is about moving with faith. Archangel Michael is telling you that now is the time to be brave, to speak out, and to take a step forward inside before anything changes outside. Be honest with yourself. Are you ready for something bigger than you thought? Because many people pray for too much, but when there is too much they pull back. They have doubts about it. They mess it up. There are people who say this is too much for me. Right now you have been quietly prepared, secretly strengthened, and privately tested. What is about to happen in public is not luck. It's the end result. Here is the most important truth. The $1 trillion miracle check is worth something. Heaven knows how valuable you are more than anyone else does. Besides what your bank account says and what people have said about you. People don't value you enough, but God does. A check is what heaven says. You are worth the money, but agreement is needed to activate you. So take a deep breath right now. Center yourself in. Refuse to be distracted. This isn't just any content you found by accident. This is an interruption from God. Today is the day you wake up. You are not being asked to pursue the blessing by Archangel Michael. He wants you to stand up and take it with confidence. What you say next is important. The next thoughts you have are important. The next choice you make before 9 p.m. It's important because tonight something is changing. You're not just watching this by chance. Beloved warrior of destiny, what you are about to learn will alter the way you perceive everything right now. The $1 trillion check isn't written on paper. Yes, it's okay. It's permission from above for a transfer that has already been done in the spirit. And Archangel Michael isn't just holding it. He is keeping it safe because what is next to your name is important. At some point, you may have felt like everything was taking too long. Opportunities were almost within reach. Doors closed and calls went unanswered before being abruptly taken away. You asked yourself things. You were not sure if you understood God right. But what you didn't see was that numbers you couldn't figure out were being finalized in heaven. Behind the veil, changes were being made. In the unseen realm, contracts were being examined. Today is the day that what was waiting for comes out. And this is something that most people don't know. When heaven is about to let out something huge, it tests how you'll react before it does. The stress you felt this week wasn't just random. It was getting ready. You can't handle overflow if you break under pressure. You can lead miracles if you stay steady. As a protector of the soul, Archangel Michael, he makes sure that your stuff doesn't get lost, stolen, or redirected. He can't get rid of your doubts, though. If you rule yourself out with doubt, the activation will happen later. The spirit world is waiting for you to agree right now. Say to yourself, I'm ready. Not cocky or scared, but sure of themselves. Since the check is already signed, it has your name on it. And it's not just money that's involved. It includes getting back together with people. It includes opportunities that come up more than once. It includes influence that goes beyond the people you are close to now. But here is the need again. This window is closed by the treasury at 9 p.m. Do not get it wrong. Even though God's love never ends, there are times when things move faster. Divine alignment occurs occasionally. Things move quickly when you move at that time. If you wait too long, the next cycle might take longer. This is also why you were cut off today. Many of you are scrolling right now. You stopped, though. That means your spirit knew something that your mind is still learning. Archangel Michael doesn't happen by chance. He shows up where battle and breakthrough meet. You are at that intersection. As you feel this truth sinking into your heart, I want you to make a statement that supports it. In the comment section below, type Amen. Not as a normal answer, but as a strong declaration that you are ready to receive what heaven has already planned for you. As you write it, know that the spiritual world is taking note of your agreement. You need to hear something else very well. Your enemy tried to make you think that you are behind in life, behind other people in terms of money, spirituality, and comparison. That was a lie meant to make you feel like you didn't deserve abundance. You're not behind. You are being put in place. When you cannot see the blueprint, positioning feels like a delay. But everything makes sense when the structure is finished. Structure, stability, and an overflow that doesn't go away overnight are what the check stands for. That being said, you need to respond today. Alignment is triggered by engagement. Agreement hastens manifestation. If your spirit is telling you this message, don't wait to respond. Let your faith move your voice. Write what you agree with. Declare that you are ready. You are not just watching a video when you type, tweet, or interact with it. You are setting an intention. Share this with a stuck person. If you want to walk in divine alignment all the time, subscribe to this channel. If you think that heaven is changing something to help you, please like this message. Since this message gets around, more people will seize the moment before it's gone. Pay close attention. What happens next will show why the deadline is at exactly 9:00 p.m. Not a minute after that. There is a secret reason behind spiritual cycles and God's books that most people have never learned. Pay close attention because what you're about to hear will clear everything up. Faithful soul, 9:00 p.m. Things don't just happen and symbols don't have no meaning. It's a sign from God. In the spiritual world, evening is often a time of change. In history, divine decisions have been made at the edge of the day where light meets shadow as one cycle ends and a new one begins. Tonight at 9 p.m., is that edge for you? Standing at a gate is Archangel Michael. Not a real gate, but a threshold in the realm of the unseen. Everything that has made your struggle what it is on one side. On the other hand, there is healed compensation. The check for $1 trillion is not just in your head. It is safe at that point and is waiting for your clear agreement before the hour changes. When people agree before a deadline, it's very powerful. It shows that you are ready. That's proof of alignment. Heaven responds to strong faith that is shown at the right time. This is why you feel like you need to act quickly. You're not being pushed by fear. The force that is pulling you forward is divine. You've been through times that were emotionally draining. You helped others when you didn't have much. You let go even though it hurt. It would have been easier for you to quit, but you stayed faithful. Each of those times put something into the heavenly bank account in your name. There was no waste. Nothing was missed. The one who sees everything kept a close eye on everything. There was also Archangel Michael. He watched over you as you fought alone in your mind. When enemies you couldn't see tried to stop your growth, he made sure you were safe. When discouragement told you that your prayers were not being heard, he wrote down proof of your strength in heaven. The check he has is not a gift. It is right. But justice needs everyone to take part. You can't line up with the release if you pull back now. You will be in sync with the transfer if you take a step forward in faith. This is why what you say tonight matters. Talk about plenty. Say thank you before you see it. Say the words of restoration before they happen. There is no lie in your voice. You are getting ready. Now is the time to turn. Thoughts that something was about to break open have been there for a reason. Doors that look like they are closed are actually getting weaker. Blockades that seem to last forever are slowly breaking down. The spiritual atmosphere around you is changing because God has already given the go-ahead for it to happen. But pay close attention. People notice blessings at this level. The people around you might not get what's going on. Some people might even question your sudden change. But now is not the time to look for approval from other people. Now is the time to answer heaven. When told what to do, Archangel Michael doesn't think twice. The way he moves is clear, and he wants you to do the same. Don't overthink, hurt yourself, or think about past mistakes. Tonight is all about clear alignment. The check is a sign of growth, growth in power, growth in territory, and growth in influence. When you get what's linked to your name, you won't think so small anymore. Getting by is not enough for you. You will be in charge of the extra money. And this is the deeper truth. This miracle isn't just for you. It has to do with effect. When you rise, people who are connected to you also rise. When you get more resources, you can reach more people. Your family feels safe. When your stability gets better, heaven grows through people who are ready to receive. The window does close at 9 p.m. because cycles need to stay in order. Heaven operates within a framework. Appointments are exact. This is not mind readating. It is a beautiful rhythm. Seasons change at certain times and so do releases. Right now, picture Archangel Michael holding that check with your name clearly written on it and an amount on it that means more than money can buy. He is not stressed. He is sure of himself. He is waiting for you to say yes inside. Say it out loud in your heart. I accept what God has planned for me. I align with God's timing. I don't feel scared when I step into chaos. This isn't being cocky. Yes, it is obedience. As you agree, keep in mind that acceleration starts slowly. The conversations change. Opportunities show up. Unexpected help shows up. Things that seemed hard became easy. In the natural world, this is how transfer works. You will not remember today as a normal day in your life. People will remember that moment when you put your faith in God instead of doubting Him. Type 1 receive the release in the comments. If you feel like this is calling to your spirit, the blessing code 2121 has just been put on your life. Understand something holy while this gate is open. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission will grow into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Giving to this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through hearts that are kind. This is what I say over you now. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. Give and it will be given to you. Is not just a verse for Jesus. It is a living promise that shapes your future. Allow me to invite you now with a simple act of faith. Come into this moment with purpose, with honesty, and with hope. The money you give today is not a donation. The act of spiritual obedience that lets your heavens open is what opens them. Let go of your seed and see what God brings back into your life. He says, "As you pour out, I will pour back into you, pressed down and overflowing." When you feel pushed to act, that's your obedience matching the treasure in heaven. When the ground is ready for planting, don't wait. People who really believe will have doors open for them in ways they didn't expect. Take a step into this prophetic moment and start taking part right now. Anointed listener, since you said you agreed, something has already changed. Even if you can't see it with your own eyes yet, the air around your name has changed. A signal was sent when your heart was in sync with heaven's timing. Archangel Michael didn't just stand there. There was movement. In the spirit world, deals happen faster than light. In the unseen realm, changes that take years to happen in the real world can be made in seconds. That's why having faith is so strong. It gets around obvious problems and connects directly to divine power. And when power moves, problems can't be solved. Conversations are being changed. Right now, decisions are being changed. Paths that seemed closed at one point are now being looked at again. The check shows that the money has been transferred legally. But the reality shows up in layers. Alignment comes first, then spiritual enforcement, and finally proof that can be seen. You are in the middle of evidence and enforcement. This stage is the most important. A lot of people lose their way here. They expect fireworks to happen right away, and when they don't, doubt starts to creep in. But this is the quiet part of the building process. The base is being strengthened so that whatever comes next doesn't fall over from its own weight. Archangel Michael is not only watching over your miracle, but he is also making sure that the place where it will happen is stable. If overflow got to chaos, it would spread out. If plenty came in without any structure, it would leak out. In this way, heaven gets the vessel ready before pouring the oil in it. You are that vessel. Have you recently felt like you have more clarity, getting better at discerning? Some distractions are no longer fun for you. Some relationships don't feel right. This isn't just a random distance. It's perfection from God. You need to pay attention to the role you are taking on. The $1 trillion miracle check is a sign of size, but size needs maturity. Heaven doesn't give people who aren't ready for it a lot of responsibility. If your name is written down, it means that your preparation was seen and approved. Still, there is one more thing you need to keep an eye on tonight. How you think. The enemy's last move is sneaky. It won't sound like a loud fear. It will come as calm thoughts like, maybe this message isn't as bad as it seems, or maybe I shouldn't have high hopes. That's the voice of limitation trying to take back the space it's losing. Turn away from that voice. Expectation is not the same thing as greed. Expectation that comes from faith is in line with what God has promised. Being humble when you expect shows that you respect the person who made the gift. The day is going by hour. As the time gets closer to 9 o'clock, the spiritual activity gets stronger. This is like the last few minutes before sunrise. Often the darkest part of the day is right before the light comes through. If you feel a little resistance rising, that means you're getting close to breaking through. With unwavering authority, Archangel Michael stands. He doesn't move. He doesn't change his mind. The things that were given to you will not be stolen. To agree, though, you must stay strong. There's more to this miracle than meets the eye. What you get is important, but what you become after getting it is even more important. Abundance changes who you are. Not because it makes you who you are, but because it shows who you are. When the pressure is off, your true calling shines through. You were never meant to live in survival mode all the time. Survival makes it hard to see. Overflow makes it easier to see. And heaven needs you to have a bigger picture because you have a bigger job than you think. The check is both a sign of release and a sign of commissioning. When there are more resources, there is more responsibility. Influence grows when doors open. This isn't just a lucky blessing. This is strategic. Giving people power. Some people may know about your change before you say anything. They might feel more confident, calmer, and sure of what they're doing instead of confused. That's the idea of alignment spreading outward. As this hour goes on, keep your peace. Do not get into pointless arguments. Stay away from places that drain you. Keep your focus on yourself. Say thank you ahead of time. Thank God for what has already been done that we can't see. Because this is the truth. Heaven doesn't play games. It gets ready and then lets go. The promise made by Archangel Michael is not empty. He is holding authorized payment. And now that it's getting dark, the last seals are being checked. There is nothing missing, broken, or late. This is your time to change. Deep breathe. Feel the weight of hope without being afraid. You're not after something fragile. You are getting something safe. What happens next will show why your signature was put down before you even thought you were qualified. Heart of stone, you need to understand something now that the mood has changed. There was no time for you to sign that miracle check when you prayed for it. It was put there when you got through something that should have broken you long before today showed up on your calendar. Heaven had already kept track of how long you lasted. The nights you cried alone. You were strong on those days even though you felt empty. When you chose honesty even though there were easier ways to do things. All of those choices were big ones. Those were memorable times. Archangel Michael saw what happened. You thought you were just going through hard times, but there was actually documentation going on in the spirit. Proof of faith, proof of loyalty, and proof of strength. And heaven doesn't ignore proof. It goes back to it. The $1 trillion miracle check is the reward that has been earned over time. Not luck or chance, but spiritual credit that was built up. There is a difference between a sudden blessing and a release that was planned. What you're about to get is ready. But there's more to it than that. Your name wasn't written in ink when you signed that check. It was written in agreement. A covenant is a promise that is backed by power. That is what was agreed upon cannot be easily taken back. But belief is also needed for covenant. If you don't take this moment seriously, it will lose its power. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss how heavy it is. These days aren't dramatic for fun. It is only for alignment. This date is important because cycles are coming to an end behind you. If you're holding on to an old identity, you can't move into new territory. That's what tonight is really about. Change of identity. For too long, you've seen yourself through the lens of what you can't do. You have judged your potential based on how things are right now. Your plans for the future are based on what has happened in the past. But in heaven, you are known by your calling, not by your condition. Archangel Michael is not holding a gun to the part of you that has doubts. He's keeping it for the version of you that comes up. Can you feel the stress? It's the stretching of who you are. The old mindset didn't want to let go, but the new mindset did. This change within is needed before evidence from the outside can show up. Because you have to be able to see the miracle when it happens. You might miss a big chance if you keep thinking in small terms. If you are still expecting to be let down, you might think that favor is just a coincidence. Watch out. There are already a few of these signs. A message out of the blue, an idea you didn't expect, or a door that opens just a bit. There will be more tremors after this one. Heaven often speaks softly before it roars. As of 9 p.m., the spiritual atmosphere gets tighter, but not because people are scared. They are focused. Archangel Michael is making sure that there is no interference. This blessing will not be stolen. There won't be any more delays than what was needed for planning. But you must still agree. Be careful with your thoughts tonight. If doubt comes up, respond right away with gratitude. If fear speaks, speak with faith. If you start to feel impatient, take a deep breath and remember that God's timing is perfect. This miracle isn't coming to hurt other people. It is coming to reposition you spiritually, emotionally, financially. You will soon be able to go into rooms where you used to feel like you didn't belong. You will start conversations where you used to be quiet. There are chances you will take that you used to be hesitant to. A check mark means capacity, and having capacity means having courage. When expansion starts, don't pull back. Do not doubt your worth when people like you more. The same God who let you go through times of lack is now letting you go through times of plenty. And here's something that not many people get. Both hardship and overflow put character to the test. Are you going to stay humble? Will you continue to be kind? Are you going to stay aligned? Archangel Michael is not only your guardian but also a witness to your growth, your change, and the moment you fully agree with what is being said. Tonight is not the night to try to get rich. It has to do with getting restored. It has to do with getting back what delays stole. In other words, it's about living the life that was always meant to be lived. It's not that the treasury is closing to punish you. It's ending to mark the change. A new cycle starts when the hour is up. What you get in this window, on the other hand, speeds up what comes next. Don't move. Feel how heavy the things that are moving are. It was signed because it was thought that you were ready. And what happens in the next few seconds will prove for sure that this release is already happening. One with courage. The hardest part is always the last few days before manifestation. Not because something is wrong, but because everything is going to plan. It's like pulling back a bow before letting go of the arrow. The tension is needed for the distance. To be precise, you need the pressure. That holy tension is what you're feeling right now. Archangel Michael is still there. The fact is that he is more present than ever in your life. The check for $1 trillion is still safe. But now the spiritual atmosphere is full of completion. This part of the process is almost over. What's left is your firm position. At this point, there is a small test that is given. This test is for how consistent you are. Can you believe without seeing proof? Can you speak with confidence without anyone else confirming it? Can you stay in line even if the clock starts to tick faster? This is where a lot of people fail. At first they were brave, then they were excited, and finally they were hesitant. That shouldn't be your story. You've come too far to back down now that you're on the verge of making progress. At this very important moment, I need you to make a statement that solidifies your position. In the comments section, type, "I will not retreat." Make a promise to God that you will stay strong until you reach your goal. When you type it, you're not just leaving a comment. You're also painting a line in the air that doubt can't cross. It's important to remember that today is the end of something. Everything you went through led to this turning point, but the end doesn't always look dramatic at first. It can look like calm certainty at times. At times, it looks like a deep knowing that won't be shaken. That deep knowing is coming up in you right now. You can feel that this is bigger than feelings, hype, and your imagination. There is movement in the real world. Then there will be something measurable. The check is a sign. Yes, but you will be able to see the results. Also, be careful about this right now. Do not share your hopes with people who can't handle them. Not everyone can figure out divine timing. Spiritual alignment isn't respected by everyone. Like a seed planted in healthy soil, guard this moment before they break through the ground. Seeds grow in quiet places. Archangel Michael stands at the entrance to your next level like a guardian. His blessing is not the only thing he has. He is getting rid of interference. If some distractions go away all of a sudden, don't go after them. Should some people pull away, don't freak out. Not everything that goes away is a loss. Sometimes it's just extra space. Speaking thanks all the time gets easier as the time gets closer. Being grateful is agreeing ahead of time. Gratitude keeps faith strong. Being grateful keeps your heart in line with being humble. Pay close attention. Your answer right now is important for more than just this moment. When you speak out, declare, or take part, you anchor the shift. So, if this message makes you stronger, show how your faith works. Like this message. Share it with someone who feels like they're about to make a big step forward. Leave a bold comment on your statement. If you want to consistently walk in divine alignment, you should subscribe to this channel. If you feel called to stand in deeper agreement with this mission, become a member because being engaged doesn't just mean doing things online. It's taking part in momentum. Also, before you leave this moment, think about something important. You are not like most people, which is why this revelation found you. You are sensitive to spiritual things. When timing calls your name, you know it. A lot of people may hear words, but only a small number can tell when something is activated. The activation is taking place right now. Archangel Michael is not in a hurry. But the time is getting close. The air is filled with a holy seriousness. Not worry or stress, but attention. Things change quickly when heaven focuses. You might feel waves of calm and waves of excitement going back and forth. That makes sense. Your spirit is getting used to growing. Your mind is now understanding what your soul already knows. Don't move. At this point, alignment turns into manifestation. What you're about to learn will make it clear why the treasury doesn't just hold on to this check forever, but instead releases it at set times that can't be changed. Pay close attention because what's coming next will confirm everything you've felt so far. Watchful soul, the heavenly bank account doesn't have this check for a long time. It's not because there is no more heaven. Because transfer is controlled by time. The divine cycles are very precise. Also, when a window opens, it does so without hesitation. You should now understand something better. The treasury is where obedience, prayers, and faithfulness are kept. Heaven keeps track of all the honest sacrifices that are made. But release is linked to being ready. If someone doesn't claim a blessing during its time, it doesn't go away. It has been moved to a different timeline. That's why today is so important. This is where your timeline and the preparation timeline meet. Years of endurance have come together at a certain hour. Archangel Michael is proof that you are mature enough to be released at this level. But adults must do something. Religion is based on the same laws as the real world. Things fall because of gravity. Blessing is drawn toward agreement by alignment. It's natural for things to move faster when your thoughts, words, and expectations are in line with divine intention. This is why subscription is more important than you think. You are not only following a channel when you click the subscribe button. You are putting yourself in a steady flow of prophetic alignment. It feels like a divine appointment every time a new video comes out. Heaven works through rhythm and being exposed to the truth over and over again. If you subscribe, you're telling the cycle, I promise to stay aligned. I won't drift. I want every prophetic word, activation, and shift to reach me at the right time. But if you hesitate, the cycle will go on without you. Please don't get this wrong. God's love doesn't leave you, but chances come and go. Changes are made to assignments, windows close, and new ones open later. Time makes a difference, and time is important. You've had to wait for too long. The check isn't just about money. It's about making up for lost time. Speeding up progress that was held up and getting back the energy that hard times sapped. Heaven doesn't add slowly when it makes up for something. It restores a great deal. The fact that Archangel Michael is there shows that protected territory is at stake. It's not a small blessing. This is growth that changes direction. Of course, this is why interference tried to get worse near the deadline. Resistance tries to speak louder as you get closer to breaking through. Have you noticed that random things today are trying to take your attention away? Small irritations, interruptions that come out of the blue, and doubts that try to sneak in quietly. These are the last attempts to get you out of alignment. Keep your balance right now. Calm confidence is the most powerful state of mind. Not emotional excitement or anxious striving. Peace and certainty. You show that you are ready when you stand in certainty. And now for something deep. Being certain doesn't mean you know everything. It means you believe the person who does. Archangel Michael doesn't show the whole plan. He makes sure that what has already been agreed upon is carried out. Your job is to agree. He is in charge of enforcement. Imagine that the heavenly treasure chest is like a vault of golden light. As the night goes on, it holds records of your strong will, prayers, and sacrifices. Because the account is full, a check with your name on it is taken out of that vault. Fullness means that the preparations are done. But completion needs everyone to take part. This is not a plea for heaven to move. Heaven has already moved. This is about going with the flow. Right now, the flow is strong. Clear thoughts, sudden ideas, and a feeling that you need to make decisions soon may come to you in waves. The first signs are shown here. Breakthroughs rarely happen on their own. Keep your mind on thoughts that make you feel calm instead of scared. And really understand this. The miracle might not work out the way you thought it would. It could come in the form of an opportunity instead of cash. A partnership instead of being a loan, or a plan instead of a sudden deposit, but its worth will be greater than expected. Don't put limits on it with a small mind. The language of $1 trillion refers to an unimaginable amount of money. It stands for something valuable that can't be measured in numbers. The world and heaven have different ideas about how much is enough. As the end time draws near, you are entering divine valuation. Do not shrink. Do not doubt. We can't act like this is just another day. There was a reason why you were cut off. You were put in that spot for a reason. There was a reason you were ready. That check is not being held by Archangel Michael for someone better qualified. He is holding it for you because endurance is what made him qualified. The end of the cycle is coming up. Stay firm in your agreement. Keep your spirit steady. You will also understand why your response in these last moments affects not only what you receive, but also how quickly it multiplies once it gets to you in the next revelation. Shining soul, the secret that's hidden inside this moment is multiplication. The thing you are about to get won't stay the same. The $1 trillion check isn't just going to happen once. It sets things off. It's a seed that looks like payment. How it spreads after it shows up depends on how you react to it. In addition to watching over a release, Archangel Michael is also watching over a change into stewardship. Getting something and managing it are two different things. A lot of people are happy with their arrival but not with their expansion because they were ready for breakthrough but not for responsibility. But you have been shaped in secret places. Think about everything you went through. The discipline you learned by not having enough. The knowledge gained from making mistakes. Through betrayal, the ability to discern grew stronger. It was all planned out. Those things taught you how to deal with too much without being cocky. Where there is humility, there is growth. The spiritual atmosphere becomes more charged with completion as the day draws to a close. The bank account is ready. There is a seal on the authorization. Your signature is now valid. Another thing though is being watched by heaven. How you stand. Are you ready to handle more without losing your balance? It's not a trick question. It's an invitation to think more deeply. When abundance comes into your life, it makes what's already there stronger. There is more gratitude when it is present. Being generous grows when it's present. If there is still insecurity, it gets louder. This is why this moment is so strong. It means improving the inside of your home before making the outside bigger. As a sign of strength without pride. Archangel Michael stands still. That's your model. Purpose-based strength, not ego-based strength. Peace, not control, is how authority is expressed. The check is an opportunity on a huge scale, but it will come in stages. First access, then growth, and finally influence. As you feel this growth coming closer, I want you to confirm your readiness once more. Type Amen one more time in the comments. Make this second Amen more powerful than the first one. Let it be the sound of your spirit aligning itself with God's plan. While you write it, picture your name being fully approved for the release that is about to happen. When you see what you get as a trust instead of a trophy, you can multiply it. There are people in your future who will be better off if you obey tonight. Sharing turns into a priestly act at this point. You are thinking about someone right now. Someone who is stuck, has been late, or needs to know that their window is still open is a friend, family member, or coworker. When you share this video, you're not just sending something else. You are putting out a lifeline. When the anointing breaks through for you, it will also break through for them. People who bring light to others are praised by heaven. So wait a minute. Press the share button. Send it to the person who came to mind. Send a text. Put it up. There will be relief for family members and an effect on communities. When you plant seeds, they may grow into forests that you will never fully see. The way divine multiplication works is like this. But agreement is the first step. If doubt tells you that you are not worthy of more, shut it up right away. Worthiness was established by the covenant, not by being perfect. Preparation made you qualified. You were moved by faith. Also, here's a deeper truth. Being a channel instead of a container is what you become when you multiply. Good things come through channels. Containers hold things temporarily. Channels keep sending out information. Heaven likes channels better. As the time gets closer, feel how important this assignment is. You're not just saying that you can do a miracle. You are taking on a responsibility that will have an effect on more than just your own comfort. This is why your name was written. Not just to get, but also to give. Type 1 to move on to multiplication in the comments. If this speaks to you, blessing code 8282 has just been put into action over your life. As you step into this revelation, know that your answer now echoes beyond this screen. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. The treasury is still open, but the cycle is getting tighter. What happens next will reveal the last spiritual key that will determine whether this multiplication happens quickly, all at once, or slowly over time. Stay rooted, because the final revelation is what will decide everything. One who is awake. Work is not the last spiritual key. It's giving up. Don't give up passively. Give up with alignment. The kind that lets go of control while still being sure of themselves. This kind says, I trust the process because I trust the person who wrote it. When surrender takes the place of strain, multiplication speeds up. You've spent years working hard, planning, and doing math to try to force things to happen. Force, on the other hand, doesn't change what's happening now. It responds to release based on faith. Archangel Michael is not attempting to persuade heaven to favor you. The blessing has already been given. Internal resistance is the only kind of friction that's left. There is a small difference between being excited and being anxious, looking forward to good things. Anxiety worries about losing things. Your mood matters more than you think. As the time gets closer to 9 o'clock at night, when you stay rooted in calm expectation, you align with speed. If you worry too much and think too much, you slow down your own reception. That's why giving up is the last key. I receive without grasping is what surrender means. I align without forcing is what it says. It says I put more faith in God's timing than in my own needs. And it makes sense to multiply in that space. If you want to remember that strength does not mean strain, look at Archangel Michael. Even though he is strong, he is calm. That's the energy you need to have right now. Not desperate, not frantic, and not trying to show that they are ready, just steady. The $1 trillion miracle check is a sign of how big things are. But size has to land on stability. Giving up confidence is what makes things stable. Think about all the times you've tried to change what happened in the past. How tiring it was and how unpredictable the results were. Now contrast that with times when you trusted and let things happen. Doors opened more easily and chances came up out of the blue. You will stay in that pattern for a long time. One miracle is not what today is about. It's about changing how you live. From thinking about lack to thinking about having enough. From wanting to trusting and stewarding what you have been given. And now for something deep. When you give up the right way, you don't become passive. There is no longer any fear in you. So you become strong. You're responding to a reason. As the spiritual treasury prepares to seal this cycle, the atmosphere feels almost still, like the quiet before a declaration. It's holy to be that still. Do not think it means there is a delay. It's proof that alignment has been achieved. You might feel like something is already done. Your breathing may slow down and your mind may clear up. That is giving up, taking root. Archangel Michael is not in a hurry. He is looking at your posture to see if it is calm. As soon as there is peace, freedom comes quickly after. And make sure you understand this. Things will not look the way you think they will when you multiply. It could start out as one strategic chance that turns into several. It could start with a single conversation that makes a network work. It may appear as one idea that generates streams of provision. Do not look down on small starts. Every time you multiply, you start with a seed. The check shows the value of the seed, not just its size. If you plant it right, even symbolic abundance can turn into real overflow. As 9 o'clock approaches, try not to keep looking at the clock. Time is not against you. It is your proof. The moment isn't going away. It's perfectly lined up. Give up everything now. Release any doubt that is still there. Release any repressed anxiety about success. Release any notion that you have to work hard to earn blessings. You can't let those old patterns follow you as you grow. You're moving to a new beat. And in this beat, giving up becomes your strength. The last revelation is coming, and it will make this moment permanent in the way heaven responds to your agreement, not just a short-lived feeling. Hold on to what you know, because what comes next will determine how bravely you walk into what has already been set up for you. Braveheart, the long-term change starts when you decide that this isn't just a fun, temporary thing, but a new way of life for you. The events of today are not meant to fade away as the hours go by. It's meant to change the way you think about provision, timing, and who you are. Something has changed, but Archangel Michael is still there. There is no longer any tension around the check. There is now certainty. Enforcement has reached the end of its cycle. The authorization is still valid. Now the focus is on you. Not to test you, but to build you up. Because a miracle claimed without a change in mindset turns into a memory instead of a movement. Today, no one stopped you from taking a few minutes to get inspired. You were told to align for good. If you get the $1 trillion miracle check, it means that God has faith in you. Heaven wouldn't give you magnitude if it thought you were going to abuse it. So be honest with yourself. Who are you becoming? Not what did you do last year. Not what were you like during your worst time. What are you changing into now? How brave you walk after this moment depends on how you answer that question. Taking a spiritual step forward on purpose is a powerful thing to do. A lot of people change without even realizing it. You, on the other hand, are taking a deliberate step forward. You know that something has changed. You already know that surrender made acceleration possible. You know that alignment comes before multiplication. Being aware of this is what makes the change last. Archangel Michael's presence means that what starts now is safe. Not only to protect resources, but also to protect direction. You will find it easier to make decisions. Things that used to confuse you will now seem easy. Choices that seemed hard at first will now seem clear. This is what happens when heaven gives you a solid base. But pay close attention. The world will try to get back to normal because of what happened. It will say that was just a feeling or nothing really changed. Do not believe that story. External evidence starts with changes inside a person. It's not imaginary just because something began without being seen. Watch out for this shift. Change the way you talk about your future. Do not expect the same results from your efforts. Change the way you act in places that used to scare you. The miracle check stood for something valuable. And value changes how you stand. Also, don't keep this message to yourself if it has helped you. Say that you are stepping into permanent alignment by liking this video. Share it with someone who needs to know that their season of waiting is coming to an end. Say what you're claiming tonight in a bold way. If you want to consistently walk in these divine shifts, subscribe to this channel. If you feel called to stand closer to this mission and learn more about it, become a member. Because when you participate, you strengthen the change in yourself and make it stronger for others. You must also hold on tight to one more truth. The treasury shut down at the right time, but what you secured doesn't shut down. What you agreed with stays the same. The thing you turned on grows. The thing you gave up becomes your new rhythm. No longer are we looking for miracles. It's about keeping the momentum going. When it first starts, momentum is weak. It needs to be cared for or kept safe with faith. Don't let bad things take over. Do not let comparisons make it less strong. Don't let old habits drain it. Archangel Michael's job has changed from watching over a release to watching over your growth. Also, growth needs consistency. Feel the difference in you as the night goes on. A calm authority, a steady promise, and a refusal to back down. That's the permanent shift becoming stable. What you're about to learn will show you why this whole time wasn't just about getting something from heaven. It was also about becoming a living example that draws other people into their own appointed hour. Hold on tight because the last revelation will seal everything that has started. Keep the flame going. What you've started is no longer a secret. The change you made was never meant to be kept secret. Today was the day you were supposed to cross. But crossing isn't meant to separate people. It has an effect. Archangel Michael didn't just watch over your miracle to make you feel better. He kept it safe because your word is important in places you haven't seen yet. When heaven invests at this level, it expects the impact to multiply its money. There are quiet people who are watching your life. Others, like family and friends, have seen how hard you've worked and how loyal you've been. Even strangers have felt that something is off about your spirit. When your breakthrough becomes clear, it will answer questions they were afraid to ask. This is the reason why the shift must last. Temporary excitement can't keep an effect going. Rooted transformation is the only way to do it. And what happened inside of you tonight was a deep change. The $1 trillion miracle check stood for value that could not be measured. But now that you're on the same page, you need to carry that value with you. Don't talk about yourself like you're not important. Stop limiting what you can do. Don't keep telling stories about your limitations. Your old self is not the same person you are now. A warrior of truth. Archangel Michael is. When he's around, you remember that who you are isn't based on your mistakes. It is defined by what God has decided. Every time you walk into a room from now on, act like you're in charge because you are. And now for something deep. In the next few days, you will start to notice small confirmations. Not big loud signs, but clear statements. A call that brings about chance. An idea that leads to a plan. A link that lets people work together. These are not just random events. They show proof. Do not ignore them. Heaven rarely makes noise to let people know it's there. For sure, it confirms itself. When too many things line up to be ignored, that's proof that the treasury release was real. But power also brings attention. Some people might be confused by your sudden change. Some people might even doubt you because your confidence makes them feel uneasy. Don't take that energy in. Stay calm. Stay on the ground. Stay thankful. When people were against Archangel Michael, he didn't argue. He doesn't give up until the opposition gives up. That's your model. Your speech won't be full of loud bravado. It will stay the same over time. People will notice that something has changed when they see you acting differently, like being calmer under pressure, more sure of your choices, or stronger in your presence. And when they ask how, you'll base your answer on real life, not theory. Today will be a significant day in your life. A line that splits before from after. That date is powerful though, not because of what it means. It's your long-term alignment. After that, you need to understand one more level. Now, the miracle wasn't just providing. Yes, it was okay. Permission to think more broadly. Permission to be more brave. Permission to follow the vision without apology. Permission changes how people act. When you are sure you are allowed to do something, you don't hesitate. Stop giving too many details. You stop waiting for other people to agree with you. Archangel, it's important to remember that Michael's position around you comes from heaven, not from people. As time goes on, doors that seemed hard to open will become easy to open. Get ready for conversations that used to seem impossible to have to feel natural. Expect chances that seemed far away to feel like they are now within reach. Do not rush, though. Be careful as you walk. Be a good steward. Stay in the right place because the last revelation will end this journey with a statement that turns your experience into a living altar. A sign that can be seen that divine timing is real. That surrender makes multiplication possible, and that heaven doesn't erase what it writes with your name on it. Keep your attention on the last few words. They will make this change a covenant, not a coincidence. Chosen vessel, now is the time to seal. Not a dramatic ending, but a confirmation from God. There was never any fear of a due date today. It was about making you aware of your permission. The treasury, the check, and the need to act quickly were all not meant to put you under pressure. It was meant to put you in place. You now get it. Archangel Michael wasn't holding out $1 trillion check to make you want to get rich. He was standing there as proof of what heaven said about your life. It had nothing to do with money. It was about who you are. It was about heaven telling us that this one is ready, ready to grow, ready to make a difference, ready to be a steward, ready to start moving quickly. Even though an hour has passed, what you aligned with is still valid. What you said in faith does not go back to the bank account. It changes into motion. You can tell the difference now. There is no fear or a sense of urgency. There is only calm. That steady state is the seal. It was over, but you didn't miss it. You went right into it. It's over for you. You lined up. What you got? Archangel Michael has changed his role from guardian of release to guardian of growth. As what has begun grows, it will be looked after. Clear ideas will come to you. The connections will be in line with the goal. Provision will show up in ways you might not expect, but you will know right away because your spirit has been trained to discern. This isn't just hype. Change is happening here. You'll remember that today wasn't the most miraculous thing, but the check itself. It was the change inside you. The fear that used to hold you back no longer has power over you. The doubt that used to make you question your worth is gone. You can now move forward without the doubt that used to stop you. The way you move now is different. You speak from the heart. You feel good about your choice. You're sure of what to expect. That's the real wealth. The language of $1 trillion meant value that had no limits. But what heaven really gave them was the ability to see clearly. You are no longer thinking about how to stay alive. You are thinking in terms of being a steward. No longer do you ask, will I have enough? You want to know how much this can grow. Everything changes because of that question. The fact that Archangel Michael is with you confirms one last truth. When heaven writes your name on something, it doesn't change its mind. It doesn't think twice. It doesn't get taken away without a reason. Now, while you're sitting in this calm confidence, I want you to do something that makes heaven's favor flow over this moment. The like button should be clicked as a spiritual sign, not just as a friendly act. You are telling the heavens, when you press that like button, I agree with what was put out here. I agree with the change that has happened. That one action starts a flow of divine favor into your life that comes from this video. This shows that you didn't just watch, but also took part. One more thing I'd like you to do. This video should be shared, not just because it's good for the algorithm, but also because someone in your circle needs this right now. There is someone close to you who is about to give up. They're about to scroll past the key they found. And the fact that you are holding this message right now means that they have put their trust in you to deliver it. When you share, you become a messenger that angels can see. By obeying, you are making Archangel Michael's reach bigger. Lastly, now is the time to subscribe if you haven't already. This channel is there to help with prophetic alignment. Each video is made to meet you where you are in your journey, to speak to your season, and to bring about the changes that God has already approved. You're not just adding your name to a list when you subscribe. You are making appointments with God. You're telling God, I want every release, every activation, every prophetic word that flows through this ministry. Do not miss out on another video. Don't let another deadline come up without getting ready now. Tap the button that says subscribe. It should be official. After that, click the bell to make sure you don't miss when heaven speaks directly to you. You seal your place under an open heaven as you do this. You were given what you were given because you were faked for it. From now on, walk like you're allowed to. When problems come up, keep this alignment in mind. When chances come up, seize them with both hands. Fear will try to whisper again, but you should remind it that your signature has already been accepted in heaven. If you want to make this promise permanent in your life, type I walk in authorization in the comments. You are now sealed and blessed with the code 1212. As this covenant comes to an end, please hear this carefully. You are about to enter your divine future. Remember that this message does not end with you. People can use your breakthrough to get where they need to go through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-fi community, you can help this mission. By doing so, you are sowing into the awakening, deliverance, and restoration of souls who are still trapped in darkness. This is not poetry. When Jesus says, "Give and heaven will open over you," every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. Now is your time, my child. Have faith. And as you do, watch God multiply what you let go of. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's take a moment to reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is not a stroke of luck. It is a direct message from Archangel Michael to you. He's extending his hand and inviting you into a protected high vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope but a promise. This sacred principle is very simple, but it can change your whole life. If you follow it, you won't just receive blessings. They will be multiplied and flow into every part of your life. By accepting this invitation right now, you are unlocking immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that are hidden from the general world. Now is your chance to enter a sacred space where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this sacred moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Archangel Michael's inner circle immediately through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the direct personalized messages that are specifically meant to elevate and empower your life. If you desire to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. And for those who feel called to amplify this work, a link to purchase the guided ebook is available, which is completely optional. But your presence, attention, and energy already mean the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.